Good morning, everyone. Hello, and welcome to the PreStream podcast. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're doing well. Welcome, my friends. Coming off of a night of technical difficulties, which I'll try to outline for you guys to understand what's going on. For those who were trying to follow the videos I was doing last night on YouTube, it might have been pretty confusing. I don't blame you. Excuse me. Also, yes, once again, my allergies are in effect. My post-nasal drip is bothering me, just to forewarn you. Welcome to the PreStream podcast. Today is Monday, April 25th, 2022. Today is the final streaming day of the week for me. I am off from streaming tomorrow. Excuse me. And I come back on Wednesday for another full week of streaming fun, which we're going to talk about in a little bit as I outline the schedule for you guys. It's been an exciting week for sure. We've had so many interesting things happening. Speaking of which, I actually have, I was going to say, why is the lighting so off? There we go. We have some updates today in regards to future content. I have a major update in regards to DSP Reacts, the new series that we tried out this week. We tested the waters with me doing a full 5-hour analysis and reaction of the Down the Rabbit Hole Wings of Redemption video. Which, by the way, continues to do really well. Viewership is great on YouTube so far. I mean, not outstandingly, amazingly, oh my god, viral. No, nothing like that. But I don't think anything on DSPGaming at this rate will have anything like that anytime soon. The whole point is that I am attempting to build this channel up. I am attempting to make DSPGaming something interesting and prominent for people again. And for 5 years, it was not. It was just an archive of my live streams from Twitch. But now I'm back for a year here, and I'm doing my best to build this sucker up. It's hard, you know, when you've neglected something for that darn long, and people just get this mentality that it's not important anymore, and now trying to convince them to come back, it's tough. Even when I'm putting out good original new content, I'm trying new things, right? We'll see how things go, because, you know, basically in May, it'll be a whole year of me being here full-time on YouTube. Ups and downs and all arounds, as they say. And one of the things that I know I'm going to have to do is diversify my content. And so that's what I attempted to do this weekend with this DSP React project. Which I'm getting pretty much resounding and positive feedback about. The stream did outstanding when it comes to engagement and viewership. We got a lot of new subs based off of it. Tons of content in regards to comments is what I meant to say. In regards to the series, probably got more comments on this series than anything I've done anytime recently. In fact, you know, in recent memory, the only thing that's done as good is my Elden Ring playthrough. My Elden Ring playthrough consistently is doing well, okay? And sorry again, this post-nasal drip is really bothering me today. It's pissing me off. So, yes, I'm excited to talk a little bit more about that on today's PreStream podcast because I have big updates in regards to that, okay? So we'll talk about that in a moment. Today we're going back to Elden Ring. This will be interesting to talk about how Elden Ring is going to go. We're in Endgame today. We basically don't have much left to do in the game besides a tiny bit of little extra exploration and stuff I'd missed before. There is a Dung Eater questline to finish by the end of the game, but I'm not there yet. And we got these final couple areas, and then we're done. But the thing is, the final areas essentially are quite lengthy. So, and challenging, by the way, I should say, too. So, this should be fun today to get into the end game content and see how I do and see how I tackle it. I certainly hope that there's something that's new. And I mean that, too. Like, I really hope, because we're at the end of the game, that they saved some good stuff for last. Because, I hate to say it, the last 10 to 15 hours, maybe even 25 hours of gameplay has been reused content. Except for maybe one or two bosses, which I've called out and said they're some of my favorite bosses of the game. Outside of them, it's just been, wow, the same shit. Wow, the same shit. The same shit. They keep recycling the same shit. So, I'm excited. I hope you guys are too for Elden Ring today. Tonight on the late stream is going to be Skyrim, which was supposed to be Saturday night, but we basically postponed it to keep going with the DSP Reacts event because people wanted me to finish it all in one day. Skyrim tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, should be exciting, because not only are we going to likely finish up the Companions quest line, But then we've got more interesting stuff to do. Like there's this Daedric quest I've been waiting to do for the longest time, and didn't have a chance to do because I didn't have a Daedric card. And now I have it. So I'm going to do that. And then we're going to head into a DLC. Which one, I don't know yet. But we're 90 plus hours into Skyrim. I think it's time to finally do a DLC. Don't you guys think? Of course, the DLCs are quite lengthy in this game. So once we start a DLC, we'll be locked into that for many sessions. But I think it'll be cool. Okay? All right. I'm off from streaming tomorrow. Hope that you guys have a good day away from my streams, no matter what it is that you do. If you do happen to get caught up on stuff here on DSP Gaming from the past week, please remember to consider giving all the videos likes if you like them and leaving comments on them. They help for engagement. Right now, the Down the Rabbit Hole reaction is doing really well in regards to that. The likes and the comments really helping the channel. But if we keep that momentum on everything, it would be great. Okay? Excuse me. No, I do not have asthma. I don't have asthma, but because I have postnasal drip, what happens is a lot of times when I go to sleep, it persists and I wake up. And now it's been gunked up all night. And it's really nasty. And I sit here for hours trying to clear it out. And then what you'll notice is that about an hour, 2 hours into the stream, all of a sudden it won't sound as bad and it won't be an issue anymore. And people are like, gee, what happened? It goes away. During the course of a normal day, it actually goes away. I think it actually gets worse sometimes overnight. So, it depends, obviously, the time of year and stuff. But, yeah, right now it sucks. There's nothing I can do about it. Do I read the contents? Do I read the comments? Of course I do. I have to. My channel, DSP Gaming, is set up that comments need to be reviewed and approved to show up on videos. Why? Because for a very long time, during that era, whenever it was apropos, it was so trendy to hate on Darkside Phil and make a "this is how you don't play" video about everything he does. Okay? People actually got into competitions of who could say the nastiest thing, the most racist thing, the most insulting thing, the most disgusting thing in my comments of my gameplay videos. It was stupid as shit. It was like the dumbest people on the internet came to my channel just to do this because they knew that if they had the worst comment on my video, it would be picked up and highlighted in one of these "this is how you don't play" montages. So essentially within a 2-year period, my channel became a toxic cesspool because people were just doing toxic shit everywhere on it. Like, everywhere on the channel that was like this. And I couldn't sit around and just micromanage all the comments at that time. So I shut them off. My actual longtime fans and viewers who were using the channel for positive purposes came to me and said, "Phil, you just got to turn them off. There's nothing else you can do. You know, you're just one man. You can't hire a team to sit here and moderate your comments." So I did. Now, in those 5 years that passed, YouTube had a new system that they implemented. The way it works is people can post comments, but number one, YouTube instituted all of these new filters. So if anyone said anything racist or things, it would filter that out and that comment would immediately be blocked. Okay? But in addition to that, there's a queue. Okay? And the queue allows me to sit there and see new comments and screen them and either approve or deny and respond, which is great because I can approve a comment and immediately go over to it and respond and have a conversation with someone if I so choose. It takes a lot of extra time, don't get me wrong. It's a lot of work now to do this, but since I instituted this back in November, it's helped a lot. Like now having comments on the videos, again, people like coming and watching the videos and having that kind of interaction with people who are enjoying the same content that they do. But it's also hilarious because there's still idiots who come and try to troll and not a single comment comes through because they're morons. It's all blocked by YouTube. But anyway, it's the only way that I could actually do it. There's so much stupidity tossed against the channel for dumb reasons that I had to institute that. So absolutely, I see every comment, but 90% of them, well, I should say 90% of the idiots, you know, they don't make it through anymore, which is great. Essentially what we've done in the last year is we've taken DSP Gaming from a channel that was just a quiet archive, and we turned it back into a place for interaction, discussion, and enjoyment of games. And that's what I wanted to do in the last year since I came back full-time to YouTube, is turn my whole business around, which I feel like I have. I mean, has the business grown? Yes, but just very slowly. I wish it had grown faster, admittedly. But as I told you guys, it's going to take a long time. It took a long time for Twitch to take off for me. That whole first year, 2 years that I was on Twitch, it wasn't great. It was just okay. And then all of a sudden, it started to grow bigger and bigger. You started to see a major amount of subs come in and everything. And I think it's going to be kind of the same thing. Definitely the same thing here on YouTube. Especially if YouTube ever implements the changes they've claimed they're going to institute to improve the streaming experience, which they still haven't. I told you guys last year. It was like the fall of last year, and they announced, oh, we're going to do all this stuff next year. And I was like, God forbid they actually do it in a timely manner. And then January came, I said, still not here. And February came, it's still not here. And people said to me, why are you being so impatient? I said, because I know YouTube. I've been here for 14 years. I know how YouTube works. They've always overpromised and underdelivered. So you guys hear me back in early this year complaining, where is it? Where is it? Think about how awesome it would have been if we had all those improvements to YouTube in February, when all the new games hit, right? In that tiny span where we had Pokemon Legends Arceus, Sifu, Dying Light 2, Horizon Forbidden West, Elden Ring premiering, all that stuff. Imagine if we had all these new features on YouTube at that time that we all could have been enjoying. When they're going to turn it on when no one cares, you know? If it even works when they turn it on, because that's the other problem with YouTube. But anyway, I am enjoying what I'm doing here on YouTube. Thank you guys who are posting up comments. Please continue to do so. I read them all. Okay? Okay. Let's get back to the schedule because we got distracted here when I got asked, do I read comments? So what are we doing later on this week when I get back from my day off tomorrow? Well, on Wednesday, it's going to be more Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. We're continuing on with Revenge of the Sith, finishing it up and heading into the modern Star Wars movie trilogy now, which will be interesting because I've only seen 2 of the movies. I saw The Force Awakens like 2 or 3 times. I saw The Last Jedi once, and I didn't really like it that much. I thought it was okay. And I never saw The Rise of Skywalker. So this will be interesting to see the whole plot here kind of unfold in video game form, because I don't know what's coming. I actually have no idea. Then Wednesday night will be Game Pass night. And I'm glad that we got to this topic, ladies and gentlemen, because as of this morning, all right, we have to set up a new poll, all right? How does this work? Well, what I've been doing is, since we beat Kirby about a week ago, I've been doing these Game Pass nights where the members vote on what game they'd like to see on a night stream. And the last few, last 2, I should say, Game Pass nights, the members voted for I Am Fish, which, by the way, I don't mind at all, okay? I don't mind at all. I've been really enjoying I Am Fish. We did the entire pufferfish plot line. It was great. And then last night we did 2 stages. We did the second stage of the piranha fish and the second stage of the flying fish, which was very challenging. The flying fish stuff, it's difficult. The other cool thing is that the game is tying into the previous games that this company has made, I Am Bread and Surgeon Simulator. So that's kind of neat. I don't really understand the references, but people are explaining them to me. I'm like, that's kind of neat. So it's a great game. I really enjoy it, and we're having great times on those streams. So what we're going to do right now, we are going to post up the poll for the next Game Pass night, which is Wednesday. So that means members would have today, tomorrow, and of course the first half of Wednesday to vote on what game they want to see. So let's do it live right now. Here we go. Let's do it. All right, community tab of the DSP Gaming channel page. Change the post to channel members only. All 395 of you now. We have had a sharp increase in members because people want to see me react to my own Down the Rabbit Hole video. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes, okay? Because I have an update on that, actually. I have a big update on that. That's one of the things I want to talk about this morning. Okay, poll. Which game should Phil play on the next members Game Pass night this coming Wednesday? Good luck. Options will be Serious Sam 4, I Am Fish, yet again, because this time we might actually beat the game. let's see. Series Sam 4, I Am Fish, YouTubers Life 2, One Piece, Pirate Warriors 4, or Quake. Those are your 5 options, okay? So if you are a member of the channel, please exercise your power, exercise your right to vote in the poll and pick what game I'll be playing on Wednesday night. I don't mind any of those. They're all great games. If you guys want me to finish I Am Fish, I'm down for that. If you're tired of it, because now I've played it 2 streams in a row and you want something different, I'm down for that too. All those games are great selections in my opinion. Now, I do have an update here. Once we do end up finishing up a game, like let's say we finish up I Am Fish sometime in the next week, what I'm thinking of doing is I think I'm going to do another night where we go through Game Pass together and we pick out some other games, because perhaps it's that you guys were interested in those games, back in January, but it seems like everyone keeps voting for I Am Fish. I'm curious to see what you guys will vote for after that, but maybe we want to add a couple new games to the mix, okay? Especially because Forgotten City is out of the running. We already know to beat Forgotten City, it's going to take like over 2 hours, so I can't do it on a night stream. That's already going to happen as a given as a daytime stream coming up, so that's out of the running. And if I Am Fish is done, now we got another game out of the running. So we need to start picking new games to add into the running, you see? So, please vote, and perhaps within the next week, we will have a night where we go through Game Pass again and look at some new games for possibilities for night streams, okay? But members, call to action. Please vote. The more votes, the better. All right? Thank you. Excuse me. All right, this coming Thursday will be more Elden Ring Endgame paired with the continuation of Skyrim. Now, you might say, but wait a minute, didn't you say there was new content coming out this week? Yeah, this coming Thursday, there is an expansion for, of all games, Bug Snacks. That's right, the game that was a launch title for PS5 that shocked us all, because we all thought it was a cutesy kiddie game. It is not. It is a game that deals with adult issues like depression and mental illness and those kind of things. Plus, there's a horror in it that you didn't even expect, but there's tons of horror at the end of the game. Okay? So Bug Snacks is getting a 3-hour-long expansion this week on Thursday. The problem is, no one has confirmed or said anything about what time the expansion is coming out. And what I know for a fact is that games that are on PlayStation don't consistently get the content at the same time. If this were a brand new release game that people were buying, then likely it would come out overnight and it would be available either at midnight, your local time, or by like 10 a.m. in the morning. But for DLCs like this, especially a free one, it's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes they're available, sometimes they aren't. So I said to myself, do I really want to lock in and say, oh, let's play Bug Snacks DLC on Thursday, and then it's not available? That would just screw everything up. So I'm going to play it safe. And I'm going to say, let's do the Bug Snacks DLC Friday. It's definitely going to be available by Friday unless something goes horribly wrong. All right? So it'll be the main stream on Friday. 3 hours of Bug Snacks fun. Apparently, this is a new area that you go to. I think it's an island full of giant Bug Snacks creatures, which is interesting. The big Bug Snacks creatures are some of the coolest ones in the main game. So it'll actually be pretty cool to see what this DLC is all about and re-explore the world of Bug Snacks for the first time in a year and a half. Okay? So there you go. Friday night fights. Old school Street Fighter fun. We'll likely still try to play it on Xbox, although last week it was kind of a mixed bag. Sometimes we got good matches in a lobby, and sometimes we actually got ranked matches, and other times we were just kind of sitting around. So in this case, if we play it again on Xbox this week and we have issues, we can switch back to the PlayStation, which is fine. Keep in mind, we're under 2 months now for the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection on Friday nights. It's going to basically become outdated in June when the new collection called Capcom Fighting Collection comes out. This is a new old school compilation game that includes all these different versions of the Darkstalkers franchise, plus Hyper Street Fighter 2, which is an amalgamation game that combines all the different versions of Street Fighter 2 into one, plus other fighting games as well that are, honestly, they're more fringe games from Capcom. They're not necessarily mainstream hits, but I guess it's nice for variety's sake to see a few of them thrown in there. I don't know if I'll ever really care about them, but we might mess around with them a little bit at launch, okay? So all that being said, it's the final countdown for this version of Street Fighter. So hope you'll join me Friday night for some of the last sessions we'll probably ever do of it, okay? So then over the weekend, you're going to have more LEGO Star Wars paired with the continuation and likely end game of Elden Ring. I don't know if we'll beat Elden Ring in this coming week. You figure 3 hours today, 3 hours Thursday, and then maybe like 3 hours Sunday. I don't know. We may beat it, we may not. Also, same thing with Lego. We may actually beat Lego Star Wars this week. I don't know. We have to see how it goes and play it by ear. All right? Now, once I beat those games, we're going to look at what's new, what's next, what's coming. First of all, once I beat Elden Ring, I'm doing a full review of the game, which I never do. I haven't reviewed a full game review like that since The Last of Us 2 almost 2 years ago. I almost never do game reviews anymore, but this is definitely an instance where I need to do a review. All right, I have a lot to say about Elden Ring. You've heard a lot of it over the course of the playthrough. You've heard moments of greatness where I'm like, wow, I love this game. And you've heard moments of rage and anger and disappointment at things that I don't like about the game. And I want to summarize all of that and formally review the game for you in an honest manner that most people didn't do. Most people who reviewed this game fanboyed the fuck over it and kissed its ass the entirety of the review, which is ridiculous. I just find it hilarious that there's people who are like, oh yeah, the game has this shortcoming, this shortcoming, this shortcoming, this shortcoming. Man, it could have been better. 10 out of 10, perfect game. What a great review. You're totally not an ass. Anyway, so my review will be interesting and different for sure. And I'm excited to do it, but we got to beat the game first so I can formulate my actual thoughts in my head and actually have this nice big review for you guys, okay? So that's coming. The next game after I beat either Elden Ring or Lego Star Wars is WWE 2K22. This is a game you guys have asked for a while. There's a showcase mode that's only a few hours long, but then we're going to go into my career mode and create my wrestler and go through its own simulated career. And eventually, when it seems appropriate, we'll do fantasy matches. We will set up events where I'll just have all these fantasy characters and wrestlers fighting each other in all kinds of zany situations, okay? Awesome. So, we shall see how all that goes. Now, also, what else is going on in May? Well, there's actually new releases in May that I'm interested in, including, let me go through them here. What the hell? There it is. Trek to Yomi, Evil Dead the game, possibly Vampire the Masquerade, but I'm not sure. And at the end of the month, there's Sniper Elite 5, The House of the Dead Remake, and Pac-Man Museum Plus. Not a ton of games, but still at least there's a few to throw in there for variety purposes, okay? So, this coming month will be an interesting mix of content, and then likely we will have time for another new game at some point. I'm not sure exactly what it'll be or when, but I guess we're going to talk about it. I heard that there's actually been a lot of new stuff released on Game Pass recently that perhaps people would be interested in seeing me play. Of course, we've also tossed around the idea of me maybe playing some retro games, so we'll talk about that when we get to it. I feel like we still got several weeks. Still got to finish up the games I'm playing, do this review, you know, and then WWE, and move on from there. Then we'll figure it out. Okay? Okay. Cool. All right, so that's the schedule. Now you guys know what to expect roughly in the schedule. However, let us now address the elephant in the room. What are you doing in my room? Get the fuck out of here. You smell. Okay, but now let's talk about something else. Let's talk about the DSP Reacts project that I did on Saturday, and let's talk about the future of the series, okay? So since I did DSP Reacts on Saturday, it went really well. Everyone likes it. Everyone wants me to do more, and they're wondering, what's the next project? What's the future? What are you going to do? What a lot of people didn't realize that we already have that answer. We already have this. Take a look. This is already set up, and what is that? Well, that's the members goal for the month. And originally, the members goal for the month that was set up at the beginning of this month was that if we hit 400 members on the channel in April, I'm going to do DSP Reacts to Down the Rabbit Hole Dark Side Phil, my own video on that channel. Okay, I cleared it. I got permission to do it with Frederick Knudsen ages ago. All right, and this month we've been treading water here because it's been like, oh, we're at like 360, 370, then it stagnates. Oh, we got to 380, then it went down to 360 again. And I'm like, gee, I guess you guys just don't care about my idea, even though it was essentially something you guys asked me for ages. Okay, well, all of a sudden, I do this video on Saturday, and we gained like 20 members. Seriously, we were at like 370 something, and all of a sudden it goes boop. And I'm seeing comments constantly on the videos. Are you gonna do one? Are you gonna do your own video? Are you gonna react to your own video? Are you gonna react to your own video? Huh, Phil? Huh, Phil? Huh, huh, huh? Okay. So the answer is yes, if we hit the members goal. Right now it's April 25th. April has 30 days. If by the end of the 30th day of April we have 400 members, then yes, I'm doing it. If we don't hit it, I'm not doing it. That's the point of a members goal. If we get 5 members today, right now on this stream, it's confirmed, it's locked, it's happening. And we can actually set a date, we can promote, we can hype, we can get excited for it, okay? And people are saying, how much is it to become a member? I think it's $3.99, United States denomination. I don't know how much it is internationally, but I think I set it to $3.99. American dollars, okay? So, if you're not a member and you want to see this happen, what are you waiting for? By the way, you get so many advantages being a member of the channel. Number one, you support the channel. You allow me to keep doing the kind of content that I want to do. If you like this new idea of the series of DSP Reacts, support it, okay? You get a Chat Crown badge to show how long you've been a paying member and supporter of the channel. You get a highlighted name both in video comments as well as the stream chat. You don't have to abide by the rules of the stream chat when it comes to slow mode. You can talk as much as you want. There's no limitations on how much you can talk. You get access to all my emotes, both in the comments of the videos and in the stream chat. When we hit 400 members, we unlock a new emote slot, so all members get a new emote to use. Also, you get access to all these exclusive voting privileges. Like right now, you can vote on what game I'm going to play on Wednesday night for the members-only poll. Also, when we do special events like marathons and the like, you get priority access to nominate and vote on games that will take place during those events. Also, you're really cool if you do it. You're just a cool guy or gal. Seriously. Or anywhere in between, however you choose. I don't care. You're cool if you're a member of this channel. Oh my God. All right. So let's make it happen, man. Seriously, let's make it happen. Let's do it today. Let's do it on this Elden Ring stream. We already have 326 people watching. Unless all of you are members already, which you're not, because I see there's people in the chat that don't have a nice green name. What are you waiting for? Do you want to see me react to my own video? You do, and here's why. I rewatched the video last night. I rewatched the video. I can't speak. Down the rabbit hole, Dark Side Phil. I rewatched the video. And I said, wow, there's even more stuff that I can react to here than I thought. I hadn't seen it in about a month. I watched it back and I was like, oh, actually, this is kind of, it's a common belief, but it's not true. Here's the truth of the matter. It's actually kind of true, but not really. And here's how I can explain, how can I fully explain this situation, right? There's stuff in there that some people are like, oh, Phil's not going to talk about, or Phil's afraid to talk about. You're out of your mind. The whole point is I'm going to talk about the whole video in its entirety. I'm going to address everything in it. All right? A lot of what's in the video is absolutely 100% true. And I'll tell you what's 100% true when we watch it back. And, you know, a lot of it is embarrassing. A lot of it's stupid things that I did over the years that I know was dumb as shit. But, of course, in the moment, I didn't want to admit it. Right? Some of it's completely wrong. Some of it is completely wrong. But I don't blame Frederick Knudsen. Because a lot of stuff has been said about me over the years and been made like, oh, this is public knowledge about Phil. But it's not. It's just something someone said a million times with no factual corroboration. So I'd actually be able to clarify that stuff. Okay? I actually also feel that this video, when I do my reaction to it, could end up turning into other stuff. Because the video is only 30 minutes long. And at that time, I actually talked to Frederick Knudsen about this. I said, is there a reason why my video is so short in comparison to some of your other very popular videos that are like hours long? Like the Wings of Redemption videos, 2 hours long, very in-depth, very detailed. And I'm like, why did you go into so much detail with him and not me? He's like, well, when I was starting off 5+ years ago, I was under the impression that people would not watch a video longer than 30 minutes. That statistics showed, you know, that YouTube viewers would disengage after a certain length of time watching a video. So he basically was just trying to hit on the high points that he felt were the most interesting points there. And definitely there was a ton of stuff left out. Like, I actually directly asked him, I said, you didn't ever really touch upon the hate groups that I had. And I actually think that the hate groups, like for example, the Sons of Kojima, were some of the most fascinating things that happened in regards to my history. Because how many people have a actual dedicated hate group of people who publicly broadcast themselves all over the internet and do these things? Like, it was just weird, right? And he doesn't talk about any of that stuff in the video. And I said, that actually, I might have been interested to learn about them, because at the time I paid no attention. I just ignored all that shit and I just kept doing my own content. And he was basically like, yeah, because it was only a 30-minute video, he was trying to just gloss over the high points of what he could hit on. And there's definitely a ton of missed stuff. And I asked him, would you ever, you know, be interested in going back and re-exploring, because I could probably give you takes on things or let you know what it was like going through it. And he was like, he's just not interested. He's not interested in going back and doing that kind of content anymore. So there you go. But anyway, yeah, I think that this video, again, going through it, there's a lot to talk about there. I think that people are making these weird assumptions that Phil will not address this, Phil will not address that. It's wrong. I'm going to address everything in the video. You know? There's so much in that video to talk about. So, anyway. Yeah, so I'm excited to do it. I really am. I'm excited to do something like this. And like I said, there's tons of stuff to do in the future. And it doesn't all have to be about me. Some of it can be about me. But a lot of it can be just first-time stuff, too. Because that's the thing. You have to understand that there's different kinds of reaction content. In this case, if I'm reacting to my own video, the thing about it is that I have knowledge to add to it. But I already know about what happened to me. I was there. You know, I didn't miss it. I was living through it. So this isn't really like, oh, Phil's first time reaction. This is Phil already knows what happened, but now he's going to elaborate more on it or have something to say about it, right? As opposed to when I watched the Wings of Redemption video, I didn't know any of that. That was all first time shit. So it very well could be that I watched this video and it's a different kind of reaction and people don't like it as much. What are you going to do? Now, by the way, I got to reiterate this. I'm not ever reacting to troll content. I'm not reacting to people whose intention is to slander or have misinformation. There's been tons of those people. There's even been people who they act under the guise like they're doing truthful stuff. They are not. They're full of shit. And they do it on purpose to get clickbait views. There's some of them right now who are doing it. And it's bullshit. So that kind of stuff I'm never reacting to. I'm only going to react to stuff that's known to be kind of neutral and or factual. Okay? I'm not here to hate on anyone. I'm not here to bring anyone down or slander or defame anyone. That's not the point of what I want to do here with this, with any kind of reaction content that I do. Okay? I refuse to do that. Tons of other people do it. I refuse to do it. All right? Dalzoom's Elephant says, wouldn't it be more accurate to call your video a response rather than a reaction? Yeah, it's going to be like DSP reacts to Darkside Phil down the rabbit hole Darkside Phil. I guess it would be like more like DSP reacts / reaction, right? Yeah. Or, excuse me, DSP, well, I'm blowing this today. DSP reacts / responds. Yes. Okay. Okay. So anyway, I got so sidetracked. So we're 5 members away. By the way, a member joined. We're going to check in a moment. I'm going to shout you out. We're going to check in a moment and see if that actually adds to the total members for the channel and if we're getting closer or not. When we hit 400, we'll lock into doing it and we'll start scheduling it and talking about it and hyping it and getting excited for it. Okay? Now, you may say, okay, that's great. So obviously this is going to be the next thing on the agenda if it happens, but what past that? All right? Oh my God, excuse me. I can't stop burping. If you don't see a join button on the channel, it's because you're on mobile, and mobile doesn't ever have a join button. So all you got to do is type !membership into the chat, and it brings up the link to join. Some people are complaining there's no join button. That's because you're on mobile. On PC, it shows. I can see it right now, actually. On PC, I click on my main channel page. There's the join button. It's been there forever. It's just that on mobile, YouTube doesn't work. I mean it. Like, on mobile, YouTube just doesn't work right. It never did. No mobile version of YouTube has ever worked fully. It's always like a half-featured version that barely works. Which is why I always joke about it over the years. And I say, at one point, YouTube was a fully fledged, creative, colorful, interesting website if you were a content creator who was making content on your channel on YouTube, you could have custom colors, custom borders, custom text and font. You could actually have a custom-made background for your channel that fully filled the page with all kinds of fun stuff. You could have links. You could have all these different sections. YouTube was a creative place. When you went to your YouTube channel, it was like a combination of a place to post up your video content, but it could be like a social media hub for you as a person on the internet. It was like building a business and your online identity around video content. Then one day YouTube said, oh, well, we're preparing for everything to load on mobile, so we're just doing away with all of it. And they did. Overnight, they flipped the switch. It deleted it all. No more custom anything. Everything's black and white. No more pictures, no more sections, nothing. Just load your playlists and videos. That's it. White background, or when they added dark mode, black background. It fucked the whole site up. It was terrible. It used to be so much better. It did. And then the hilarious part, the absolutely hilarious part about all of that, all right, is that it never worked. They changed the entire site to supposedly work for mobile, and it never did. And it still doesn't to this day. It doesn't work right on mobile. It's hilarious. Anyway, I digress. Let's talk about the future of DSP Reacts, because I have some updates for you guys, all right? So since I made the DSP Reacts, project this weekend for Rings of Redemption, I've gotten tons of feedback, tons of suggestions, tons of people saying, just do this, do this, do this. And as I said, absolutely positively, I'm not going to be doing any content that's considered slanderous or defamatory. If I do any reaction style content, it has to be something that's neutral or meant to be like a documentary or factual. So everyone who sent me videos on LTG and everyone who sent me videos on Keemstar and everyone, I'm looking at them, I'm like, this is shit. This is crap. I actually don't think anyone ever in history made an actual factual documentary style video about certain people like LTG or Keemstar. It seems like all the stuff that's out about them is all meant to be slanderous or defamatory, okay? And that's not good. If you're someone like me, you want to react to something that seems, a factual documentation of what's been going on. I can't even find anything. And that's not good, obviously. That's bullshit. That's just a symptom of YouTube, that if I create something that's purposely toxic, slanderous, and negative, I will get ginormous views and all kinds of attention. But if I make an honest effort, all right, to try to do something that's like neutral and factual, no one cares. Like, how stupid is that? It doesn't make any sense at all. But that's YouTube. That's the nature of YouTube. The way that they set up the website is that it promotes slander and insults as opposed to facts. And it sucks because I would absolutely love to cover things on those individuals, but I can't find anything. Everything someone sends me is like, yeah, it's not very good. I'm like, jeez. Yeah, even people were like, oh, what about Content Cop? Apparently Content Cop is one of the worst. I've been told Content Cop is total drama. So yeah, so I have to kind of start on stuff that I kind of know is neutral. So, just so you guys know, I went ahead and I followed up with Frederick Knudsen, and I thanked him profusely. I was like, dude, you're allowing me to do this with the Wings video. People loved it. It's probably the most popular thing I've done in a long time, outside of maybe like my Elden Ring playthrough. People absolutely love the project. This is definitely something that I'm going to do in the future. And I was like, so not that I want to do every single video from his channel or anything like that, right? But I said, hey, how would you consider me doing some of your other videos? Now, obviously, there's going to be some that people are going to want over others, but I'm just curious. And he said, well, his mentality is, as long as you're not doing a straight re-upload, like you didn't rip his video off his channel and toss it on yours and say it's your content and try to get views and money off of it and shit like that, that essentially as long as you are saying, hey, this is his content and giving him a plug or whatever, that he's okay with me doing anything with any of the videos. I was like, wow, the whole channel? Yeah. He's totally down with me doing anything on his channel. Okay. Pretty cool. So that means anything on the Frederick Knudsen channel is fair game. All right? And he's got a lot of stuff on there. But at the same time, I don't think much of it is stuff that you guys would be interested in. He has a lot of documentaries that are more about things that have nothing to do with internet content creation. Like the history of the hurdy-gurdy instrument. It's fascinating, but do you guys want to see me react to that? You know what I mean? Like, so he's got a lot of stuff. And I haven't seen, the only things I've seen on that channel, just so you guys know, is my video and Wings. I haven't seen anything else. People right now are saying, what about Temple OS? I don't even know what that is. What is Temple OS? I have no clue. Is that a content creator? I have no idea who that is. The Temple OS one I accidentally put on was good. Yeah, when I was watching the Wings of Redemption, when I was accidentally hitting the tab on my controller. And so, we want to talk about YouTube on mobile and how stupid it is. If you're watching the YouTube mobile app on your Xbox and you sneeze and you go, oh, you skip your video, you go to another video. What the fuck? All I did was I grazed the button. I didn't want to do it, and it fucking jumps you out of the video. What the fuck? What a stupid thing. So yeah, I accidentally played the video a couple times. People are saying it's interesting. Oh yeah? And I'm also being told, the Spoony one would be good. Yeah. No, I'm going to tell you guys right now. I'm going to say this publicly. There's a certain person who's been making videos about me like one a year. His name's Secret Limited. He's a scumbag. His stuff is not corroborated. There's no evidence of the shit he's saying. He literally just grabs the supposition and the conspiracy theories off the internet and he puts them into a video. And then he calls it like the top 10 worst DSP gaming moments. The title of the video is clickbait. None of what he puts in the video is worst gaming moments. It's literally complete drama and conspiracy and horseshit about me. He's insulted my family members. He's insulted my wife. People who have nothing to do with my content. The guy is a fucking turd. And he doesn't deserve a moment of my fucking attention. This moment I'm mentioning him right now is the last time I'm going to mention him. He shouldn't exist. He's a piece of shit. All right? That's not a documentary. That's, take every insulting, negative possible thing on the internet and compile it into a video and claim it's gaming moments when it's not, and then push it to the internet like that for drama. Fuck him. He's a piece of shit. Okay. So don't bring that shit up. Okay? All right. Excuse me. So, right now, for the near future, and by the way, as I've told you guys, I am not going to be doing React content constantly. It's not going to happen. It's something that I want to do it as a special event that we promote and we hype up, and it's a rarity that we do it, okay? And here's why. Because if we do it like that, then it feels special. Much like when I do a marathon, right? I'm not doing a marathon every week. I do a marathon every few months. And when we sit down and I do a marathon, it feels like something special because it's outside of the norm of what I do. It feels like it's something that's extremely interesting because it's rare, right? If I sat here and I did React content once a week, it would be boring within a month. We get tired of it. It would be like, wow, okay, he does it every week. It's not a big deal anymore. But if I do it every once in a while, okay, then it's going to be interesting. So the good thing about that is because I'm not going to be doing it all the time, when you take a look at a channel like Frederick Knudsen's channel and his Down the Rabbit Hole videos, and you say, oh, okay, well, what about Temple OS? Or what about Spoony, your own video, and maybe, pick one or two others. Now, that could be months of content. Just right there, and that's good, okay? So, yeah, so let's see what happens. Again, I would say right now, the biggest possibility is stuff on that channel. Because his documentaries, for the most part, are trying to be neutral and just reiterate things that are known to be kind of fact on the internet. Okay? So, here we go. Where's this idiot? Just get rid of this idiot. So, that's the deal for now. But I need your feedback on what other kind of stuff could I do. Because it's funny because some people are saying things like, well, do this, do that. And then everything someone's tossing my way, I look at it, I'm like, that's drama content. It's blatant drama content. It's not even like under the guise of something else. It's people insulting other people. I'm not doing that. That's not the purpose of me doing this, okay? Okay. Fair enough? All right. All right. So that's what I have to say about that. That's what I have to say about that, my friends. Outside of that, I would hope that we hit this today, and we're going to start doing shout-outs in a moment. Outside of that, I'm just trying to think if there's any other housekeeping stuff to talk about. If there's anything else going on. In particular, I'm trying to think. I think I covered all the topics. No real gaming news to talk about today. But what I will say is all hail to the almighty Elon Musk, the most intelligent, handsome, well-spoken, well-groomed gentleman on planet Earth who never does anything wrong. All right? I'm not saying this because he's now apparently buying Twitter this week. It's pretty much official at this point that the people who own Twitter are going to sell to him and he will own it. I'm not doing it for that. It's not that I need to continue to use Twitter for business purposes, and I absolutely don't want to get banned from Twitter. That's not why I'm saying this. I swear to you. I'm being totally honest here. Okay? Excuse me. Okay. All right, let's do shout-outs. Let's just get to shout-outs, okay? So, we start off today on the YouTube side of things with Soren S., who became a channel supporter this morning. Thank you, Soren S., for joining as a member. Lord Shiogara re-upped his membership for 3 months in a row and says Phil is a huge hunk of muscle, love, and comfort. It's incredibly disturbing. But thank you for the re-upping, and I hope that you will behave. As we know, Lord Shiogarath, sadly, he was causing problems a little bit ago, and he's been gone for a while. I decided to be nice and let him back, so I hope that he's learned his lesson. And Brian5682 has also re-upped his membership this morning. Excuse me, I felt that one coming. I had to slap my chest like I'm a baby being burped. I had to slap my chest to get it out of me. Thank you, Brian, for the membership. Lord Giagroth also just did a super chat and says, DSP is a hunk of burning love for all. Things are getting very bad now. Things are just getting worse already. I'm already starting to regret my decision. But thank you. Thank you, Lord Giagroth, for the super chat. Okay. Let us check and see how we're doing on members right now, shall we? Let's see how we're doing. By the way, 396 is the most I just clicked the wrong thing. 396 is the most we've ever had on the channel. And then we lost one. Well, according to this, and I don't know if it's delayed, it says we're still at 395. All right? I don't know if it's delayed or not, or it could be very well. What happens is a few fall off, like a few people, they don't renew, and then new people do come in to take up their spot, so it just stays level, and that might be what happened. I don't know. As of this morning, someone checked, they said, Phil, you know, are we at 395? And before I started streaming, we were at 395, but it very well could be that they expired, okay? So we're still at 395, but we could do it, guys. 5 more. Today, we could do it. We can lock it in. All right? Please consider it. Okay, let's do some shout-outs. We start off with a $5 anonymous tip. Thank you to the $5 anonymous tipper. Let's get that up there. And it didn't say anything. Just gave me a $5 anonymous tip of support, and I appreciate that. Okay. Here we go. Oh! Looks like D-Man Games has re-upped his membership. I'll read that in a moment. But anyway, thank you to the anonymous tipper. Captain Charisma is here this morning, and he tipped me $1.50. Hold on a second here. And he says the following. Just to give a friendly update on WWE 2K22 GFX, I've done a DSP NWO and DX logo, also a DSP 316 logo, a DXP Bay logo, styled after Adam Cole. I wanted to know some of your faves so I can get some ideas. You already got Stone Cold, which is cool. Because Stone Cold is my favorite Attitude Era wrestler. I usually really like Chris Jericho. Everyone likes The Rock, but I think I like Austin and Jericho more. I mean, you already covered the big ones, like NWO and DX are some of the biggest ones. You know what I mean? Yeah. The only other one that I would say, and I know this is kind of stupid, but remember the Nexus? Well, that was actually when I was doing my wrestling commentary show, Smart Guys. That's when the Nexus hit the television. That's when they became part of WWE TV. And so we actually used the Nexus's theme song as our intro to Smart Guys for a while there. And so I don't know if you can maybe do, I don't know, because the Nexus is just, was it just an N symbol? I don't know if you can really do anything with that. I'm just throwing that out there because that was one thing that I definitely had ties to when I used to do that show a long time ago. So, thank you, Captain Charisma, for making those. What Captain Charisma is doing, if you guys don't know what he's talking about, since we're going to be playing WWE 2K22 soon, he offered a few weeks ago to make me some logos and things that I can put into my game. Because remember, we're going to make my own wrestler and go through career mode. So it's going to be cool to be able to have your own logos and things to put on your shirts and things in the arena during the playthrough. And he's working on some of this for us, which is awesome. I say for us because as much as he's doing it for me, he's doing it for you guys too, so that we all have like a community cool thing going on during the playthrough. Okay? So it should be pretty cool. So thank you for that, Captain Charisma. I appreciate that very, very much. Okay. Excuse me. Yuck. Lord Chiagarat tipped $1.50 and said, the Burning Love Super Chat was a reference to an Elvis song. Keeping fun, thoughts on Elden Ring New Game Plus and Magic only. Well, as I've told you guys, I would consider doing another run, whether it's a New Game Plus or another just standard game starting over Magic build. I'm okay with that, but being that we've been playing the game for 2 months, we're over 100 hours into it, and we're not done with it yet. I don't think we should be doing that right away. I'm pretty sure that people are burnt out on Elden Ring. They just want to see me beat it at this point and then move on to other stuff. Maybe it's a possibility that I do a second Elden Ring run in the future, but I don't think it's going to be like immediately after I beat it. Okay? Okay. Godzilla's Giant Dino Dick has tipped me $2.89. Says you should look up Millicent's questline. There's some stuff you have to do with her at the Holly Tree area. Once you finish it, you get a needle, which frees you from the Frenzied Flame ending, and you can choose your ending after the last boss fight. I think that's what I need to do then. I think that's what we need to do. I don't know how I'm going to do that because I don't want to spoil myself, but you guys have been helping me with the NPC quest lines. So, as long as I'm not missing stuff, just let me know, okay? Cool. Goji says, I wouldn't mind a second run in Elden Ring immediately. I would. I've been playing. If you haven't noticed, the last few weeks I've slowed down the amount I'm playing it because it's just so much of the same. If the end of the game was interesting, I probably wouldn't mind. The end of the game has been boring as shit. Ever since I basically finished Leyndell, there's been absolutely nothing of interest in the game. Even the underground blood dungeon city whatever was boring until the boss. The boss was cool and the whole dungeon sucked. Though the game has gotten completely boring to me. Seriously, I mean it. Like, there's nothing interesting in it. It's the same thing over and over. They put no effort into the end of their game at this point. Now we're heading into the final dungeons. Maybe this will have unique stuff and I'll like it. But I'm so bored right now. I just hope there's something new coming up. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I hope you guys will help me with the NPC quests and stuff coming up because I don't know how to do them. I would absolutely like to do that quest line and finish it. I also want to finish Dung Eater, but I don't know where I need to go or what I need to do that. Now, as for a second run, okay, like I said, I'm totally on board to doing it. I just don't want to do it now. I just played the game for over 100 hours. We're not done yet. We're going to beat it in the next week to week and a half. I don't want to do it again right away. I want to do other stuff. Definitely, I'll consider doing it later, especially if you guys keep asking me for it. But it ain't going to be something that happens right away, just to forewarn everyone. No, I'm not going right back to Elden Ring. That's crazy. Okay? Okay. See, it's funny because now Siegfried says Skyrim has more diversity. No, it doesn't. But Skyrim is chill. That's kind of the difference between the two playthroughs. Take a look at the Skyrim playthrough. Take a look at the Elden Ring playthrough. The Skyrim playthrough is literally designed to be relaxing. There's some challenge in it, and there's some silliness in it, and wonkiness, and glitches, and bugs. But you play it, and you can just chill and interact with the audience and have a good time. Elden Ring is like, oh my god, I could die at any moment. Oh, you gotta be fucking at your wit's end. You're suspenseful, but also you're fucking stressed the fuck out when you play. Your adrenaline's pumping out. Oh. It's different. It really is. It's different. If you're gonna force me to work hard, and you're gonna force me to be hyper concentrated and not be able to relax, but instead have to really be challenged, then give me something new to be challenged by. Not, oh, look, it's the same enemy you killed 17, 18 times in different places in the game, and this time it hit you for 90% damage instead of the, less. It's like, boring. It's fucking boring. Okay. Well, I'll agree. Skyrim completely reuses everything a million times, but you can relax when you play it, and that's really the main difference between the two games. For me, anyway. Okay. Fisting the Sisters. Can we get some better names here, please? It's getting ridiculous. Timmy $1.50 says, thank you for being good, hardworking, and generous. God bless you. Well, God bless you. Stop fisting your goddamn sister. It's disgusting. Jesus, man. Change your name. All right. Do we have anything on the YouTube side again? Yes, we do. So D-Man Games had re-upped his membership and said, I'm sorry about that suggestion. It's all right. Maybe you didn't know better, or you didn't know who the guy was. He's a scumbag. I appreciate the support. And Hold Mayo re-upped his membership for 8 months and says, react harder, Phil. People will sub. I got to react even harder. Okay. Zoya does Super Chat says, do you consider the trigger warning for fecal talk? No. In fact, I'm just going to continuously spew fecal talk now because you said that. Let me just say it this way. If you're someone who gets triggered easily by anything, you should not be on my channels. All right? Trigger warning. Likely, if you're here and you're a triggerable person who gets triggered by things, you're about to be triggered by something. Whether it's my hideous face, my ridiculous way that I say things, my mannerisms, my demeanor, my horrible gameplay, my farting and burping constantly, picking my nose, talking about duties. There's just so many horrible things about me and my content. You got to get the fuck out of here. All right. The Villain just re-upped his membership at the super supporter level. He says, let's D, and then corrected himself and said, go. It was a typo. Thank you to the Villain. He says, let's go. Awesome. Yes, the farting. You guys don't know about the farting because apparently you don't hear it, but I am constantly farting on my streams, like nonstop. Every 5 minutes or so, there's a big one. But you guys never hear it and never say anything about it. I'm shocked that you guys don't mention the farting. Because there's some days, I'm not even kidding you, you may see, oh, Phil looks like he's like spry today. He's like full of energy. No, I'm levitating above my chair because there's so much gas coming out of my ass that I'm actually lifted off the ground by the constant stream of methane gas coming out of my butthole. But you guys don't say anything about it. It's really weird and confusing to me. Why do you think I need to have my window open all the time? Can you imagine the smell in here? Anyway. Anyway. That's right, I am 40 years old. It took me 40 years to hone and refine my craft to get to the level that I am at today, hovering on my methane farts. That's right. Oh my God. Would I ever play the original Saints Row? Yes. I would hope they would remake it. They never remade it, right? I'd have to play the original, like on Xbox 360 or whatever. But I've never played it. I've heard it's a very different style game from the Saints Row 3 and 4 that I played. I heard it's like a more serious game about gang warfare, which is interesting. Okay. Have I thought about hooking up with the quartering again? I don't know anything about the quartering. I'm being honest with you guys now. The quartering used to cover me and talk about me in some of his content, okay? And usually it was not in a very flattering way, but there was one time years ago when one of these hack-ass news sites that's not even popular, no one cares about it, actually wrote an article about me trying to cancel me. It made no sense because no one was going to cancel me based on an article from some hack-ass fucking, journalism site. But the quartering covered it, and he laughed his ass off at how stupid it was. He's like, how can you cancel Phil over this? You're out of your mind. So basically, he stuck up for me. So I contacted him. I just said, hey, I liked your video. I just want to let you know thanks for that because that was actually nice of you to cover it fairly. And then after that contact, he reached out to me and said, hey, want to do a show together, like a podcast? Sure, why not? I'll do an interview. And that was it. That was the extent of me having any kind of relationship to the guy was that. After that, there's nothing. So it's hilarious to be like, oh, you're cool with the quartering, right? Why don't you do content with him? What are you talking about? We had one interview 2-3 years ago. That was it. I know nothing else about the guy at all. Nothing. Okay. The Drunken Peasants podcast, you gotta be joking me. Were you not paying attention years ago when they literally tried to create drama around me that didn't exist to get clickbait views on their own shit because they're hacks and can't get views on their own shit? You missed that whole controversial thing, huh? You did. All right. How about this? I'll just answer it in a nutshell then. No, fuck them. There you go. Okay, so anyway, I forgot to even mention this. I guess I'll open it up to open Q&A now. If you guys would like to ask me any questions, you can tag me in the stream chat. Be sure to tag me, DSPGaming, in the stream chat, and we'll do a little bit of Q&A for the rest of the podcast. The funny part is, see, this is funny. Young Thug says you have so many beefs. No, I don't. Like, what beefs do I really have? Honestly. If you take a look, well, who does Phil not like? Well, basically people who've wronged me, or people who are common assholes. Like, everyone doesn't like them, right? Like, do I have beef with the Drunken Peasants? I really don't give a fuck about them at all. They contacted me to be on their podcast, pretended like they were being legit, and then come to find out the entire thing was a setup. They were trying to fuck me over. There's proof of it. They tried to act like there was this secret, dramatic private email chain between us and stuff when there was nothing. They didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. They're just full of shit. I don't have a beef with Elon Musk. What are you talking about? I love him. He's the best man ever. There's no beef with Elon Musk. I wish Elon Musk would buy everything. I wish he would buy Twitter, buy YouTube, buy Twitch, buy the whole internet. ElonNet. Just call it ElonNet or Muskville. Call it the Muskville. Have you been on Muskville today? Which of the flavored waters I'm sipping are my favorite? I ditched soda for it. See, I'm limited to what they have because this is just the store brand. Kroger brand. So any Kroger supermarket has these, and there's a ton of them. There's like QTC, Fred Meyer, what's the other one? There's like 3 or 4 different Kroger chains, and they all carry this. I'm limited to whatever they have. My local supermarket has peach, lemon lime, mixed berry, black cherry, and I think they have like a blueberry pomegranate. And I've had them all, and quite frankly, I'm not in love with any of them. I think that they're all okay. So if I have a chance, I try to alternate between them. Usually I was alternating between like lemon lime and black cherry. But recently I started drinking the mixed berry, and that's pretty good too. And then on top of that, okay, the problem is they don't have them all the time. Like, I'll go there, they'll have one flavor. I'm like, oh, great. So, you know, I just drink whatever they have. I'm not in love with it. Would I react to a video on the fighting game community? I feel like you get a lot of insight and people can learn about the history of it. It depends on the video. So here's the thing. Okay. Number one. All right. Number one. I haven't been in the fighting game community for a million years. Okay? A million years. So, I don't really know anything about the last 10 years. Being honest. Ever since, like, Street Fighter 4 kind of started up, that really created a whole new community. There's a lot of people coming into Street Fighter who had never played Street Fighter before that, but they saw dollar signs and they jumped into the community. There's tournament organizers today that are well known and respected who I don't even know who they are because I haven't been involved, you see. Same thing with Gamer. Like, there's people who came in around Street Fighter 4. I don't know anything about those people because I didn't, I wasn't around then. I wasn't paying attention to the competitive community. I was doing my YouTube thing. The only perspective I can give on Street Fighter would be anything from like the 90s through like the late 2000s before Street Fighter 4. Now, I don't know what kind of documentaries there are about that at all, or what I could add. If there are factual documentaries about that stuff, right, and people thought I could add to it, then maybe I would consider it. But I would definitely need to, again, be sure I have permission to do it. right? I don't know who owns the rights to any documentaries about the fighting game community. By the way, this is something that I'm actually going to talk about when I react to my own Down the Rabbit Hole video, but the fighting game community essentially turned against me in the early days of Street Fighter 4 for the dumbest reasons. It had nothing to do with me or things that I did. They collectively decided that I was now, you know, an outcast, even though it made no sense. But I don't want to get into that on the podcast today. So likely, anyone in the fighting game community, if you ask them, hey, could Darkside Phil react to your content? They'd be like, no, I hate that guy. No, not him. It's hilarious. Like, I heard that, like, James Chen. Now, this is a guy who I absolutely respect. I said nothing but positive things about over the years because I think he's a great Super Turbo player and one of the most respectable people in the fighting game community. One of the nicest guys, stand-up guy, never caused a problem, always an honorable dude. Has said things like, oh yeah, Darkside Phil, one of the most controversial people ever in fighting games. Like, what are you talking about? Why? What? How am I a controversial figure in fighting games? I'm not even in it. I haven't been in it for like 2007 was the year where I would say was the last year where I had direct involvement in the competitive fighting game community. I was still running tournaments to some extent. I was traveling to participate in tournaments. After 2007, that's when I kind of looked back at my life and I said, I don't really want to do this anymore. All right? Now, when Street Fighter 4 came out, absolutely, I covered Street Fighter 4 for my YouTube channels. I did travel and played in a few tournaments because I felt, oh, this will be fun. I'm kind of reinvigorating the Street Fighter community here. I'm not me, excuse me. There is a reinvigoration of the Street Fighter community because of Street Fighter 4, and I want to document it for my YouTube channels. I was there more as a documentarian than a participant, even though I did participate and sucked and lost a lot. You see what I'm saying? So I don't understand how in the fighting game community I'm some kind of a controversial figure. I don't know anything about it. I don't talk about them. I have nothing to do with them, right? So it's funny to me because you say, well, will you react to FGC content? Maybe it would be interesting because I can give you that perspective from the 90s all the way through the late 2000s of being a part of that community when it was more grassroots and it wasn't about money and it wasn't about fame and it wasn't about, having an internet presence or getting a sponsorship with a team or anything like that. It was a very different thing. But I don't think anyone would ever approve me to do it. Seriously, I don't think so. I think that they'd be, oh, we don't like Phil. Why? Oh, well, he's controversial. How? What are you talking about? What do I have to do with the community? Nothing. Zero. I have no involvement. So how could you even say that? I don't even understand it. When I heard that James Chen said that about me, I was like, what? How would you even say that when I'm not even involved at all? I have nothing to do with it. I've been doing content on YouTube for 14 years. How often did I ever mention something mainstream from fighting games, right? I just don't get it, man. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Whatever. But anyway, yeah, I mean, would I be interested in doing something like that? Maybe. Are there documentaries about the fighting game community? Maybe I'd be interested to watch them. But again, I need to have permission to do so. Expand Dong, I don't give a fuck what trolls are saying. Why would you even say that in my chat? You know me. I don't care about the trolls and what they say or do. So why are you spamming that in my chat? Stop it right now. Stop it. Okay. Stop. No, I'm not doing IRL driving with the king streams. Oh, my God. Stupid. 672, we already talked about that. I don't know why you're spamming that either. Oy, oy, oy. I thought about being an esports commentator. Honestly, the answer there is no. Do I think that I could be a good esports commentator? I think I could, but I would have to do a lot of research. Like, I have understood fighting games at a high level. Even fighting games that I don't play, I've understood at a high level. I used to go to EVO and watch the finals and understand what was going on in Guilty Gear when I don't play Guilty Gear. I have that analytical mind for it, but it does take work. And I want to personally compliment anyone who does that, like, professionally, because you need a lot of knowledge of what's going on in a competitive nature to be able to properly analyze and commentate on it. It's not just you sitting there acting like an asshole. You actually have to be as informative as you are entertaining. And I will give credit where credit is due, that people who do that That's work. That's not, oh, look at that guy. He's so lucky because he gets to be up there at a desk or on a, in front of everyone talking on the stream, and he's like well known now because of it. Yeah, but that's a hard job. That's not easy, and people should not think that. They should know that that's hard to do. Okay, people deserve respect and a lot of compliments for being able to do that. You're standing in front of thousands of people on a stream or at a public event like a tournament. You're trying to give information about a game in a digestible way for a lot of people who don't understand that game, and make it both appealing to a wide stream audience, but at the same time analytical enough that people who understand the game want to also know what's going on. You see, there's a lot to it that you probably don't realize. So the answer between could I do it or would I do it? Could I do it? Yes, I feel I could, but it would be a lot of work. It would be a lot of research. It would be a lot of practice. I'd have to actually try my hand at it and get better. Because the thing is, most of the competitive games today I'm not into. I haven't watched a competitive match of Dragon Ball FighterZ since this launch of the game. I haven't seen a single match of Guilty Gear Strive. I'm serious. King of Fighters 15, I understand the meta of it, but I don't like it. You know what I mean? Like, I'd have to sit here and watch and study these games a lot in order to be informed enough to do it. So could I do it? Yes. Would I do it? Likely no. What it would mean is that I would have to invest so much time and effort into it to get good at it that I wouldn't want to do it, because you guys know I love what I do. I love being the interactive streamer. I love putting out the content I do with you guys. This is where it's at for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to take time away from doing this to go be a professional in another capacity. What's funny about it was, when I first started with Machinima, okay, as a partner there, within a year of working for them, they wanted to have an interview with me. And they sat down with me on Skype, and the person, I can't even remember who the person was who was interviewing with me. It was some kind of a head up in the company, probably someone who was responsible for the partner program or whatever. And they sat down with me, all right, and it was the weirdest conversation. The guy turned the conversation towards, well, basically, you understand that none of this that we're doing now will last forever. So what would you eventually like to do once you're not a YouTuber anymore? And I was like, can you repeat the question? Like, I'm just becoming a full-time YouTuber. You signed me to a contract, a lucrative contract, to make ad revenue on my videos. And within a year of me doing it, you're literally saying to me in a sit-down interview over Skype, you're not going to do this forever. What else do you want to do? And I was like, well, I'm not really understanding what you're saying to me. Can you give me an example? And the guy was like, well, we know that you have a history in the fighting game community, and we know that you have a lot of knowledge about fighting games. Did you ever think about being an esports commentator? And I was like, no, but I guess I could do it if that was to be a thing that I had to do because YouTube fell through for some odd reason. I guess that's something that I could look to do, but I don't know that's anything that I've thought about or wanted to do. And the guy goes, all right, so I'm just going to put that down that you answered that you want to be an esports commentator. And I was like, okay, I guess. I have no idea what the point of that interview was with the guy. It was confusing as shit. I was so at a loss. It was almost like the higher-ups at Machinima thought that like everything was going to implode, when the hilarious part about that is the only thing that imploded was Machinima, right? I mean, sure, you can argue there was the YouTube adpocalypse and all of that, but here I am 14 years later from starting up being a content creator. It's still my job. I'm still enjoying. In fact, I would say I'm doing better content today than I ever did before. I'm having so much fun doing it. It's still, allowing me to do it for a living while they don't exist. So weird. I don't know. Someone keeps asking me, would I give Wings of Redemption and his wife permission to do whatever? Why are you interjecting? Okay, here's a real talk moment for everyone out there. Okay, yes, I'm a public persona. Jordy is a public persona. There are many people out there, they put themselves out there. Okay, we're public. All right. If I want to talk to Wings, I'll talk to Wings. If Wings wants to talk to me, he'll talk to me. Can you stop trying to fucking be like a go-between person creating. You're not important enough to be fucking trying to orchestrate this shit. Really, I mean it. Because I think what happens is people get these weird ideas in their fucking heads, right? Oh, well, if Phil watched the Down the Rabbit Hole on Jordy, maybe Jordy wants to watch the Down the Rabbit Hole on Phil. Okay. If he wants to, he'll contact me, and we'll talk about it, and we'll make a determination. It's between us. It's not your fucking business. Who are you to come? Oh, well, I'm going to orchestrate this public thing between the two. No, you're not. You're not our agent. You know what I mean? You have nothing to do with the equation. Zero. So stop trying to interject yourselves in between us, or anyone else for that matter, because I see this all the time. Oh, can I get involvement between this person and this and that and this? Shut up. If it's going to happen, it'll happen between the parties themselves. If Jordy's interested in doing it, he has avenues to contact me and ask, and we'll have a conversation about it professionally behind the scenes, just like I did with him in regards to his Down the Rabbit Hole video. Shut the fuck up and stop getting involved in our business. Like, why are you getting involved in it? It's so dumb when people do that shit. They think, oh, well, I'm going to watch this. I'm going to be hot shit. I'm going to create a project between Phil and Jordy and this. What the fuck are you talking about? Shut up. Seriously. Holy crap, man. Okay. Godzilla's giant dino dick tipped me $1.50 talking about toilet with the king. I'm just going to ignore this guy and say thanks for the tip. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Barrel Shroud says there's a lot of failed video game startup videos. They go in depth about them and how they failed. It would be good non-drama content. I don't even know what you mean. If you have examples, please send them my way. Especially if it's something that you feel is more documentary style and, you know, would fit what I'm looking to do. But I have no idea what you're referencing. Oh my God, excuse me. Free agent services for influencers is an untapped resource. Oh my God. All right, guys. So since we're going to end the pre-stream here, let's see how we're doing on members. By the way, I think we're at the same. I seriously think we're at the same. I don't think we've gone up at all. A lot of these were re-uppings that I saw here. But again, we're at 395. I knew it. We're at 395 members. We're still at 395. We haven't moved at all the entire pre-stream. So it is what it is. Let's do it, guys. Again, we need 5 more members to hit the monthly goal. We can do it today. I know we could do it today, especially during Elden Ring. We get a lot more viewers than usual. We can do it. Okay? Okay. All right. Let's end the pre-stream and let's get this show on the road. How does that sound? I hope it sounds good. Okay. My mouse isn't moving. There we go.